questions for the Bangladesh captain. First question, please.
You must be very disappointed. You came so close to win this match and become loser.
Yeah, obviously it is disappointing. You need just 2 runs from 3 balls with 4 wickets in hand and with 2 set batsmen. It's always disappointing.
Yeah, Mashrafe, how will you narrate it? What went wrong?
I think everything was all right till the last 3 balls. Last 3 balls we lose 3 wickets. So we just need two runs. If we can get 1 run, fielder will be up. Then we can take the shot on.
Were you thinking that Hardik Pandya would be easy to hit, so that's why you were hitting out?
Not really. When you need 11 runs from 6 ball, you have to hit. But when you hit 2 fours, you have to be little calculative. That's it.
Mashrafe, especially the fact that 2 of your more experienced batsmen got out on the last over when only 2 runs were needed. How much of a setback is that for a team that is looking to make its presence felt?
Yeah, look, that was a huge disappointing. As I said, because yes, there was, as I said, easily match could have been in our way, because 2 set batsmen, well-setted batsmen, and 2 experienced batsmen was there. So I think it's I don't know what I describe. It's a luck or what.
Is it a luck or little bit inexperience like the mega match? And one thing is that what you told in the last 2 overs? I think one of your extra men go to ground with some bat. Is there any instruction?
Well, I think yes. Obviously, there have some luck, because Riyad full toss ball could have been into the park, but he couldn't. And that's the other way I can say, that they could have been take the singles in the and get strike in 2 balls 1 run. It will be much easier. So you can say other way. What is the last question about? Oh, okay, that was coach. Coach maybe have tell something. I really don't know about it.
Until those last 3 balls, it was a very positive game, and you seem to do everything right. How much confidence can you take, forgetting the disappointment of the defeat?
It is difficult, losing match like this. It is always difficult to take something from here to another match. But obviously, being as a professional player, we have to take it. We have to play at hard cricket in the last match. Obviously, if we can do something there, obviously we can take something from here to back home. And only one thing I can say: it is disappointing, but again we have to fight it hard. Last match.
Last questions in English. Questions Bangladesh.
আজকে যে পরাজয়, এই পরাজয়ের জন্য কি মুশফিক আর মাহমুদুল্লাহ কি দায়ী করা যায় কিনা?
না, আসলে আমি কাউকে দায়ী করছি না। বললাম এই মাত্র যে হয়তোবা একটু আমাদের দিকে আসতে পারতো, একটু সেন্সিবল খেললে, বাট আসলে দায়ী করার কিছু নাই।
ক্যাপ্টেন, ম্যাচটা যেভাবে হারলো বাংলাদেশ শেষ পর্যন্ত, যে এটা কি আপনার ক্যারিয়ারের অন্যতম ফ্রাস্ট্রেটিং ম্যাচ নাকি, হারার ধরনের কারণে?
না, অবশ্যই আমার মনে হয় শুধু আমার না, ড্রেসিং রুমে যারা আছে প্রত্যেকের জন্য এটা ভেরি ফ্রাস্ট্রেটিং। কারণ লাস্ট 3 বলে আপনার লাগবে 2 রান, আপনার 3 বলে আমাদের 3টা উইকেট পড়েছে, স্টিল 2 সেট ব্যাটসম্যান অ্যান্ড অ্যানাদার ব্যাটসম্যান। সো তিনজনই ব্যাটসম্যান আউট হয়, এটা তো আসলে আমার মনে হয় সবার জন্যই এটা খুব কঠিন ম্যাচ।
ম্যাচ মুশফিকের পরে মাহমুদুল্লাহ রিয়াদও অ্যাডভেঞ্চারাস শট খেললো। ওই 2টা জায়গায় আপনি কি মনে করেন যে জাস্ট আমরা ওই 2 অ্যাডভেঞ্চারাস শটের কারণে হেরে গেলাম, রাদার দ্যান ক্যালকুলেটিভ শট?
হ্যাঁ, ওটাই বলছি যে ক্যালকুলেটিভ হলে হয়তো বা একেবারে রিস্কলেস হইতো, কারণ ফিল্ডার একজনও উপরে ছিল না, সবাই বাইরে ছিল। সো ওই বলটায় 1 নিয়ে নিলে হয়তো বা আমরা এখন ভালো পজিশনে থাকতাম, হয়তো ভালো পজিশনে তখন 2 বলে 1 রান লাগতো। সো আসলে চিন্তাটা হয়তো বা ওইভাবেই করা উচিত ছিল, যেটা হয়তো বা করতে পারিনি।
Captain, how are you planning to bounce back again in the tournament or in the future for such situations?
Yeah, we have to. I mean, it is disappointing, but we have to come back. I mean, Bangladesh cricket will be in.
Do you have any specific plans, or do you have any, are you planning for further something?
Not really. I mean, if you're asking me to, Bangladesh cricket will not going to stop here, so we have to move on from here.
ম্যাচ শেষের কারণে হয়তো সব আড়ালে পড়ে যাবে, কিন্তু এটা যে ব্রিলিয়ান্ট ম্যাচ বাংলাদেশ যেটা খেলেছে, ফিল্ডিং সেটিং, আপনার ক্যাপ্টেন্সি এবং ব্যাটিং অর্ডারে একদম মানে একদম আনএক্সপেক্টেড অনেক কিছু ব্যাপার ছিল। এই চিন্তাটা কি বলবেন আসলে? এই ম্যাচটা একদম মনে হচ্ছে যে বাংলাদেশকে ডিফারেন্ট একটা মাইন্ডসেট নিয়ে নেমেছে। কি ছিল আসলে ম্যাচের আগে চিন্তা?
আমার মনে হয় লাস্ট 3 বল বাদ দিলে আমরা পুরোটাই ম্যাচে আউটস্ট্যান্ডিং ছিলাম। জেতার জন্য যতটুকু দরকার ছিল আমরা ততটুকুই করতে পেরেছি। হয়তোবা ওদের বুমরা 2টা ওভারে আমাদেরকে ম্যাচ থেকে কিছুটা দূরে দিয়ে দিয়েছিল। প্রত্যেকটা বলই এক্সিকিউট করেছে ভালো, অ্যাট দ্য সেম টাইমে সব বলই কিন্তু ফিল্ডারের হাতেই গিয়েছে। সো একটু এদিক ওদিক হলে হয়তো অন্যরকম হয়তো। সো আমি মনে করি যে ওভারঅল 3টা বল বাদ দিলে আমরা একটা ম্যাচ জেতার জন্য যত কিছু করার ছিল আমরা মনে হয় আমরা আপ টু দ্য মার্ক ছিলাম। বাট আনফর্চুনেটলি ম্যাচটা তো কাউন্ট হয় জয় হার দিয়েই, শেষ করতে পারিনি। এটাই ব্যাটিং অর্ডারে যেটা চিন্তা ছিল, সৌম্য আসলে মিথুন যেহেতু আগের ম্যাচেও ভালো করছিল, আমরা সৌম্যকে এই জন্য 5-এ আনতে চেয়েছিলাম। আর লেফট হ্যান্ড রাইট হ্যান্ড ওই সময় আমি গিয়েছিলাম আগে, কারণ ওই সময় স্পিনাররা বোলিং করছিল, আমি চার্জ করার জন্য গিয়েছিলাম। আর লেফট হ্যান্ড রাইট হ্যান্ড কম্বিনেশন রেখেই সেটা চেষ্টা করেছিলাম।
মাশরাফি, লাস্ট ওভারে হার্দিকের বলে পরপর 2টো বাউন্ডারি মারার পর ব্যাটসম্যান গিয়ে যখন হার্দিকের সামনে ওইভাবে সেলিব্রেট করলো, তখনও ম্যাচটা বাংলাদেশ জেতেনি, তো তখনও কিছুটা রাস্তা যেতে হবে। তো এই ব্যাপারটাকে কি আপনি সাপোর্ট করেন? মানে ম্যাচ জিতে যাওয়ার আগেই এরকম একটা সেলিব্রেট করে ফেললো, নাম্বার 1। নাম্বার 2 হচ্ছে তাসকিনকে নিয়ে শেষ মুহূর্তের জন্য একটা চেষ্টা করা হয়েছিল, কালকে একটা টেলিকনফারেন্স হয়েছিল, তো একদম শেষ মুহূর্তে এসে তাসকিনকে না পাওয়া, এইটা কি আপনাদের পরিকল্পনায় কোনো একটা ধাক্কা ছিল?
তাসকিনের ব্যাপারটা না, আসলে আমরা মাইন্ড সেট আপ করে নিয়েছিলাম যে যেখানে আমাদের সে ছিল, আমরা বিসিবি ক্রিকেট বাংলাদেশ ক্রিকেট বোর্ডকে জানিয়েছিলাম সেটা। তাদের থেকে আমাদের বিসিবি থেকে হয়তো আইসিসির সাথে যোগাযোগ করে যদি কোনো স্কোপ থাকে সেটা ওনারাই আলাপ করেছে। সো আইসিসি যেটা মনে করেছে ওটাই হয়েছে। আর আমাদের প্ল্যানিংয়ে পরে অবভিয়াসলি ও ছিল না, পরে একটা স্টেজ পর্যন্ত ছিল, তারপরে ছিল না। আর একটা ব্যাপার হচ্ছে যে আপনি বললেন যে ব্যাটসম্যানরা হার্দিকের সামনে, না এখানে 2টা জিনিস হইতে পারে। একটা হচ্ছে যে ধরেন দুইটা মানে জিনিসটা তো এখন তখনও কঠিন ছিল, 6 বলে 11 লাগবে, হয়তো পরপর 2টা 4-এর পরে ও এক্সাইটেড হয়ে গেছে, হয়তোবা ও কেয়ারফুল হইতে পারতো, হয়তোবা ওরও এমন হইতে পারে যে ওরও ভালো লেগেছে, হয়তোবা ম্যাচটা ক্লোজ হয়ে গিয়েছে। সো এখানে 2 রকমই নেওয়া যায়। তবে আমি মনে করি আসলে এটা নেগেটিভ ওয়েতে নেওয়ার কোনো কারণ নাই, কারণ 2টা 4-এর পরে যে কোনো ব্যাটসম্যান একটু বুস্ট আপ হয়, এটাই স্বাভাবিক।
মাশরাফি, 2টো কোয়েশ্চেন। প্রথম কথা হচ্ছে কি, এটা কি আপনার সবচেয়ে বড় পরাজয় কিনা মানে অ্যাজ এ ক্যাপ্টেন? আর দ্বিতীয় প্রশ্ন হচ্ছে কি যে মুশফিককে যে শুভাগত এর আগের ম্যাচে মুশফিক আগে নামছে, হঠাৎ আজকে শুভাগতকে পিছিয়ে ফেলে মুশফিককে নামানোর কারণটা বলছি।
না, ওই সময় তো আসলে আমাদের প্রথম দরকার ছিল যে ওই সময় সেন্সিবল ব্যাটসম্যান যাওয়া, যে এক্সপিরিয়েন্স ব্যাটসম্যান। তো ওইখানে শুভাগত জায়গায় অবভিয়াসলি ওই যাবে, কারণ ওই সময় প্রায় বলের থেকে 7-8 রান বেশি লাগে। সো ওই সময় একজন সেন্সিবল ব্যাটসম্যান দরকার ছিল। ওভারঅল আমরা সবই কভার করে ফেলেছিলাম। জাস্ট আপনি যদি দেখেন বারবারই একই প্রশ্ন একই উত্তর, 3টা বলে যে আমরা ম্যাচটা হেরে গেছি। আর আরেকটা কি বললেন? ও আচ্ছা, শুধু আমার না, আমি মনে করি পুরা আমরা যারা প্লেয়ার আছি এখন ন্যাশনাল টিমে সবার জন্য এটা অবশ্যই কিছুটা শকিং, কারণ এই টাইপের ম্যাচ কেউ হারে না বা হারতে চায় না। সো আসলে ডিসক্রাইব করা কঠিন, কিন্তু অবশ্যই ভেরি ডিসঅ্যাপয়েন্টেড।
morning flight. Also, I would request all of you to check your phones once it should be on silent and discreet. Indian team will be traveling to Mohali tomorrow, so there will be no practice of media activity. Please raise your hands, identify yourself, and one question at a time. Sir, ऐसे ही पूछ लो, आ जाएगी.
नहीं, एक बार में एक
सवाल सर, बहुत सारे लोग हैं.
क्योंकि मुझे पता है आपको खुशी नहीं हुई कि इंडिया जीत गया. नहीं सुनिए, बात सुनिए. आपकी आवाज़ से, आपके टोन के, आपके सवाल से ऐसा लग रहा है कि आपको खुशी नहीं हुई है कि इंडिया जीत गया है. ठीक है. और जहाँ तक क्रिकेट की मैच की बात की जाए तो स्क्रिप्ट नहीं होता है. इट्स नॉट अबाउट द स्क्रिप्ट. आपको एनालाइज करना होता है कि हम टॉस हारने के बाद जिस विकेट में हमने बैटिंग की थी, क्या कारण था कि हम ज़्यादा रन नहीं बता पाए. अगर आप ये सारी चीज़ें बाहर बैठ के एनालाइज नहीं कर रहे हैं तो यू शुडंट आस्क दीज क्वेश्चंस.
Question from there, please.
Yeah, Mahi, congrats first of all. Mahi, what did you actually tell Hardik when you gave him the ball to bowl the last over?
We were just discussing as to what can be a good length to bowl, whether to go for Yorkers. If you're looking for the Yorker, whether you want to bowl the Yorker on the stump or, wide outside off. So depending on the bowler, you have to picturize as to what is the best option. So that's what we were discussing. I won't elaborate more because, it is also part of our strategy. So maybe by the end of the tournament, I can say more about it. But that's what we were discussing as to what is the best plan at that point of time. And I feel, he executed the plans well.
Mahendra, you slowed the game down a lot. Do you think that was a good tactic that would have kind of offset Bangladesh at those last couple of overs?
Well, if you have time, you can do that. If you don't have the luxury of time, it becomes a bit difficult. But frankly, the intention was not always to slow it. At times I found some of my slower fielders fielding at a position, where they shouldn't be at that point of time. So that's the time where I had to make those changes. And there were a few occasions where, in fact, I, swapped the deep point with the deep mid wicket, or the deep square leg went to deep point. So it takes a lot of time. But in a game like this, every run really matters. So you have to be very careful about what you want to do. And also, since it was a very important game, I wanted to make sure that the fielders are in the right position. Also in this game, there were quite a few catches were dropped, quite a few balls went to fielders who are not the fastest fielder in our side. Usually that doesn't happen, but this was one case where the ball was following a few fielders and, it made life slightly difficult.
Mahi, in the past you've often mentioned that, that loss to Bangladesh in 2007 World Cup was very difficult to forget and it was quite painful. So does this win kind of erase that pain a bit?
Well, nothing really erases anything because, whatever said and done, we'll still remember the 2007 loss. The reason being we were playing good cricket and, that was the point where we were not able to qualify for the next stage in the World Cup. So, we are all human beings. I know we are professionals, but at the end of the day, we also feel hurt when we have not done well. We also feel bad that, if you see ICC events, it happens every alternate year. And actually you start preparing quite early. You want your players to be fit. So you start early, and then if you don't qualify to the next stage, it becomes a bit disappointing. So I feel it's an emotional connect to the game, and I don't think this victory erases the 2007 loss because you have to move on. But that's something that was very harsh on us, especially on me. I feel that was the point where I felt life was very tough.
MS, you've been part of some very close matches in the past, but surely this must rank up there. How do you personally keep cool? You mentioned swapping the field around. We saw Ashish Nehra had a few words to say with that last ball, but just personally you, with the two stumpings and then that run out, how do you keep your calm?
I think what's very important is to listen to everyone. And if you see in a situation like this, it's literally chaos. What we are trying to do is you're trying to manage chaos. Everybody will come, will have his own opinion. Often the opinion of a batsman is very different to the opinion of a bowler. But what you have to do is you have to see what the strength of the batsman is who is batting at that point of time, how the wicket is behaving, whether there's some kind of a reverse swing or no reverse swing on offer. And all these things you need to calculate, and I feel what really helps is you listen to all of them, but at the end of the day, you push the bowler to bowl what you feel is good at that point of time. So if I'm convinced that this is something that I want to do, I would go ahead with it. But definitely having an open mind at that point of time really helps, because at times in situation like these, under pressure, you may just try to think in a, you may have a tunnel vision, but that's where, the input of other comes in. But you have to assess everything, and it has to happen in a very short span of time.
I would apologize in advance. I can't take all the questions. I'm sure you all will understand that. Mr. Nayak, please.
MS, how tough was the batting especially? And when this much score was there, what did you tell, how to go about it, and what was the plan?
I think it was a tough toss to lose. Initially we thought there was moisture on the wicket. But, in situation like this, at that point of time, you don't know how much moisture is there. Like if you see the Calcutta wicket, they didn't get enough time to prepare it, so there was moisture. But the thing was, it stayed the same. It was not little moisture that evaporated or the wicket got better with time. That's what happened over here. I feel the difference between the very first ball when it was bowled compared to the second innings, there was quite a bit of difference. The ball was stopping on, especially when it came to the spinner. If you're bowling slow, you can definitely get a bit of purchase and trouble the batsman. And I feel as the game progressed, the fast bowlers, their ball started to come on slightly better. The spinners, if you can still flight the ball, if you can hit the seam, you are able to get a bit of purchase of the wicket. But I certainly felt the wicket got better to bat on in the second half. But still, a lot of credit needs to go to the Bangladesh batsmen, because they came in and they expressed themselves. And at times when you don't have too many, if the stake is not too high, often you'll see batsmen going out and playing all the big shots. And when you play on a big wicket or a very good wicket, often it helps your batting. So I felt they did really well. They kept cruising and they kept putting pressure on our bowlers.
Hi, Miss. Congratulations for the win, first of all. And it was a horror start for Bumrah especially. He misfielded the first ball for a boundary and then he dropped the catch. And then we saw you called him up and had a word with him, Raina going to pat him at the back. What did you actually tell him that he came back so strongly and bowled those two crucial overs that turned the match in our favor?
If I say everything over here, I'll be out of job. But I after the first misfield, if you see actually his international career, this was the first game where he was under pressure. It's not only the pressure of bowling. Often, I consider him slightly weak when it comes to the fielding department. And today's game was very important. We all knew how important it was. And to start the very first ball, if you miss, as a youngster, you are under pressure. And I feel that actually reflected in his bowling also. Then he dropped the catch. So it's important at that point of time to tell him, that it doesn't really matter, because what has happened has happened. You can't do anything about it. Even if you sit there for half an hour, the batsman won't get out. So what was important was to get away from it, and at the same time try to execute your plans, what your strength is. But I felt when he came for the second over where he went for runs, I don't think he was completely out of it. So after that we had one more conversation. I won't like to say what I said, but definitely it worked.
Ask two questions from there.
Mike, do you think this is one of your best performances as a wicketkeeper in the T20 match?
I don't know. If the batsman doesn't go out, I can't really stump him. If the catch doesn't come, I can't really take it. Still, I dropped a catch. Overall, if you see, it was still a very good effort by the team. I felt majority of the members of the team had a tough day. Ash had a very good day when it comes to bowling, but still there were patches where he went for runs, where he thought, maybe the batsman played a very good shot. All the bowlers, a bit, they went for runs, but they came back and everybody contributed. So I feel it's a very good game for us, especially for youngsters, who have not played under a lot of pressure. Somebody like a Hardik or Bumrah, this was a first, you can say, first proper interaction with pressure, what pressure can really do. So I feel they must have learned a lot out of this game. And these are the games that really make you better players, because it pushes you to think in a different way. It pushes you to, have that confidence in your strength at the time when it's really needed. So I think it was a very good game for us. Winning the game was much more important, I know, but since we are on the winning side, I can say the players would have learned a lot out of this game.
Mahi, Pandya bowling the last over, for instance. Well, how do you decide as captain that you go with somebody like Pandya for the last over as you stack up?
If you see, it was quite an easy decision. The reason being, the batsmen, they were scoring quite freely at that point of time, and I knew I had to take that one over from somebody, whether it's a spinner or Hardik Pandya. And I said, what's important right now is to make a game out of it. And that's where I said I'll use the proper bowlers at this point of time. And we'll see how many runs are needed in the last over. Then according to that, we'll decide who is the person who can bowl. There are quite a few options. There was Yuvraj Singh, there was Suresh Raina, Hardik Pandya was there. And that was the reason behind it. And often it's quite an easy one. You want to give him that cushion of extra few runs, and you go back to your main bowlers and you back their strength and say whatever runs you save, it all keeps mounting on the last over, and then if he's able to execute his plans, we'll be on the winning side.
Dhoni, this is Narayankar from Presses of India. R. Ashwin has bagged the man of the match. Personally speaking, Hardik Pandya would have been your man of the match pick. Your thoughts on Pandya?
Well, I'll speak about my thoughts, but frankly, I don't really care who gets the man of the match. Till we are winning games, it doesn't really matter. Because at the end of the day, the good thing about a team is, you appreciate everybody's performance. Often, your contribution won't be a very big one, but it may be just one run out because you have not got enough chance to bat and you're not a part-time bowler. That one run out can really change the game. And I feel that's where, more than the man of the match, the winning of the team is more important. As far as Hardik is concerned, he's going through a phase where, there'll be ups and downs. When you turn in as a youngster, into the team, you're full with confidence. And that's where cricket steps in. You get a bit of a ride of your own. You score big in a game, then you don't score for a few games, then you come back strong, you may go for runs for a few games. And I feel once you go through these chapters, you become a more accomplished cricketer, as a bowler, as a batsman. So I feel it was again a very good game from his side. The reason being he had to bowl under pressure. The good thing he was willing to do it and he was ready with his plan. So I feel it's good for him, and in turn it's good for the team also. So fantastic effort by him. Ashwin, he's a great bowler, and I've always said, he's somebody who always gives me that wicket when it's really needed. On and off, everybody will have a bad game, but he has just been fantastic over the years.
Thank you very much.